as we watch the leadership of the Democratic Party begin their process of folding on the budget, let's remind people that Trump's approval rating, now granted, the Democratic Party's approval rating is in the absolute crapper. Trump's approval rating is also plummeting, and it is plummeting on the issue of immigration. And the Democrats have been very, very smart about this because they've thought, well, if Trump is plummeting on immigration, maybe we should also plummet on immigration. That way, maybe then we win like he won.
Bipartisanship of being despised.
In this video, the economy is the biggest plummet.
Yes. Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah, the economy.
Welcome back to NBC News. Decision Desk is out with a new poll this morning, and here to take us inside the numbers is NBC News chief data analyst, the great Steve Kornacki. Thanks for being here, Steve. What do you have?
Hey, thanks, Kristen. Good morning. So take a look, our Decision Desk poll, and again, we're looking at all adults here. This is voters and potential voters, casting a wide net. We ask about President Trump's job performance, a 43% approval rating. That's what we find in this poll. And of course, that number, that's about the level we've seen Trump at in this second term, and it's about the level we saw Trump at too back during his first term. So it's sort of a bit low historically, but this is very much par for the course as far as President Trump is concerned. On some specific issues, he continues to get his lowest marks right here. This is inflation, the cost of living. Just 39% approve of Trump's job performance there. We've seen that throughout his second term as well. He does better when it comes to the border security and immigration, 47% job approval. We did something interesting here, though, Kristen. We also asked about a different facet of this topic, not just the border, but deportations. When we ask about deportations, it falls a little bit, 43% approval right there. So small.
This is a really, really interesting, I think, difference in how the question is being phrased, because if you're talking about border security, the right-wing propaganda has been so effective at making it seem like there are people invading the southern border or that it's so scary and chaotic and all of this stuff, that his marks being slightly higher than that makes sense than when it comes to like the mass deportation and ICE stuff. But this is the failure of messaging here because it's all one and the same. And if the Democrats had an active message instead of, they granted every premise about the border. They granted every one of them, except for like, they could have sold things like the CBP One app, which was insufficient, but it was a step in the right direction of at the very least having a way for folks to apply for asylum and then having dates for them to have their claims heard and all of that. Where was the positive case about, like, we do need to improve our immigration system? It's overrun. We don't have the people that we need to process folks and see what their claims are because a lot of people face violence at home and want to be reunited with, say, their sister or their wife or whatever here in the United States. We should have more funding to make it so that this is a more expedited process. They didn't do that. So his numbers are slightly better on the border, which when he came down the escalator, he was mocked about the build the wall thing. And now it's still one of his better issues because there hasn't been immigration messaging from the Democrats.
But your point is important because they, like you say, they could have touted those reforms, but they were afraid of saying immigrants are good. Mm-hmm. It wasn't that they were afraid of saying that we're going to be strong on the border or our border it is they were afraid of supporting immigrants. They were playing into the most racist aspects of the immigration debate, and they were afraid to challenge that. It's one thing to say, because they all said, that was the thing. We need border, and that used to be what it was 5 years ago. We need a tough border, but then, a path to citizenship. And they lost sight of what the fundamental reason why you want that is because immigrants are good.
Yep.
And they were afraid to make that case. That's what happened.
But when and to even add to that is when you ask the question about immigration being good for this country, I'm not sure if Kornacki's going to get to it, but there have been other polls recently where it's increasing in popularity, positive associations for immigrants. And you could have tied that, which is I know it's a distant memory for people, and people think that these folks are like, squirrel, you can just distract the American public and they don't have any core values. But we did teach in our civic education that immigration and Ellis Island was good for this country. And you could tap into that, but they chose actively not to do so. And they have chose to do so for like 10 years at this point.
3% approval right there. So small, but potentially significant. And we say again, numbers we saw during Trump's first term as well. One of the things we saw in Trump's first term, Republicans had a bad midterm. They lost control of the House in 2018. They're trying to avoid that next year. One of the things they're hoping will be different this time.
Here's this Gallup poll that Emma was talking about here.
Oh, thank you. Here we go. Americans' views on immigration in the U.S.
Yeah.
There it is. Good thing. 79%. So why is the border number still better? Like, that's
Because
20 points.
It hits people's fear.
Right. Right.
Border security, just like national security. I mean,
Exactly.
it's pretty obvious. And you'll notice that chart, 25 years of data, never once, only after 9/11, when people were freaking out about
Right.
terrorists crossing the border and going to do car bombings here, did it even get close to below 50%. But it was still at 51. Now it's 79.
It's also not even a question of good or bad. It's necessary. The country needs it.
Yes.
And our poll confirms it continues to be the case right here. The Democratic Party is less popular than the Republican Party. Neither's doing great, but the Democrats more unpopular. We did not see that during Trump's first term. We are seeing that during Trump's second term. And we asked about some others.
We've got them just where we want them.
I mean, this is such a
That's
disaster.
the idea.
Rope-a-dope.
Yes, hello.
Because
Walking into our trap.
what's the like rationalization going to be through the press? It's going to be what the centrists say, which is like we've gone too into trends.
Oh, it's too much, of course. It's too much.
But you know what happens?
trans
Free
stuff
grocery
and-
stores.
Yes.
I didn't realize he's doing that.
Zoran Mamdani and all of AOC.
But
is
actually,
a problem.
the Democrats were standing up for trans people in the first couple years of Trump's administration. Remember 2017
Yes,
North
but that was
Carolina?
before that poor girl came in fifth. That's a
The
problem.
Baileys are huge.
Riley Gaines fans.
Yes, they love college women's swimming place and show. That's what they focus on, not the what's 4 and 5? I can't remember.
That's the kitchen table issues for the Baileys. I thought
That's
that's
the
what it was
kitchen
all
table.
about. Interesting.
That's the kitchen table. That's what they have.
Specific areas here. How about vaccine use in the news this week? Florida relaxing that mandate. What do you think about the use of vaccines? You see broad support here, though. It is notable in our poll. Under 50% now identify themselves as strongly supporting the use of vaccines. And we asked about this topic of gerrymandering, the redrawing of congressional districts, partisan advantage. 82% in this survey said they would rather have a nonpartisan commission than the party in power in a state draw the lines. Now, we don't know how deep this sentiment actually is, but one thing worth keeping in mind as this has played out, Republicans just did this in Texas. They didn't need voter approval in Texas. They could just do it in the legislature. California Democrats trying to counter Texas, they're going to need voter approval this November.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I would be in the 82% nonpartisan commission thing or whatever. We decide on at the end if it's federalized, but come on, like that's I don't know. That's silly in my view.
Infantilized way of interpreting events. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's not good numbers for the Democrats.
Why? Well,
Why wait until after the midterms for a change in leadership?
no kid. Well,
This is like they need a boost right now. Right now, this can't go on anymore. Are they going to vote in the start of 2026?
What are even the conditions for that?
I don't even know. Well, it's all internal.
Have Jeffries or Schumer defined what success looks like?
Right.
Or what failure looks like, for that matter?
no, Zoran Mondam.
Yeah. And I want of course, I think a primary challenge for Jeffries is really could be really exciting. I mean, like someone like Jabari Brisport, I think is a really strong candidate.
But
But
God is good.
on the throne. But the Democrats, just for the sake of like the country, could really use new leadership ASAP to juice some life into a party that is so anemic and people hate it so much.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.